I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study on serial homicide shows that the most common interest among serial killers is pornography.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's real. It's true.
The person to blame is sitting right across from you. That's the only person. Not parents, not society, not pornography. I mean, those are just excuses.
What do you think about what he said about pornography?
Pornography? I've been looking at it all my life and it hasn't affected me anything.
Bundy mentioned it. Federal Bureau investigation. Federal Bureau investigation delivered me to United States of America in the world of pornography. At least when I was 4 years of age, and it's possible 3 years of age, I would witness pornography in United States of America. MK Ultra was run by none other than Federal Bureau of Investigations. I'm doing this video because of this man here. This is a God-fearing individual. This one here, Christopher Wray, is 33 minutes ago he decided he will resign. There you go. And geez, no, I really did not Google him or anything like that. My internet connection was disabled probably 5 times just as I was browsing the porn. And you know, I think it's the right thing for me to say a proper bye-bye to him. Just right now I was browsing the porn and connection was disabled at least 5 times. And this is a God-fearing man, director of FBI, who was warning me against porn that FBI could not help me, could not assist me with. And at the same time, it's this video that popped up here to me.
I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study.
This guy almost looks like he worked for the FBI. I mean, honestly, when you look at him like this, when you profile him facially and so on, he's quite fluent too, isn't he? I mean, I think they did a profound job on him when it comes to MK Ultra. I think every one of these guys was subjected to MK Ultra. There's no doubt about it. This one here is thoroughly washed by the FBI. So 33 minutes ago, really? Oh, I'm gonna miss you, man. Boy, am I gonna fucking miss you. You know, pornography, let me explain to you in my case. I'm pretty sure age 3, I was a baby practically, when they would deliver me and I would witness pornography. And really, really beautiful ladies. The biggest deal in 1974, 1975 was how to get the ladies do oral sex. This was like the biggest deal. This is the most difficult thing to do, to get. Of all the ladies, the most difficult to get into the oral sex were white ladies. And I remember these porn directors, man, they looked like a presidents or, you know, very handsome guys, well dressed up. Well, not in all cases, but in some. And the ladies of color somehow did settle for it. Latinas, other ladies, they did. But it was the black ladies did the most. The black, I don't know, Asian, whatever. I guess the money was tempting enough to commit themselves to. And this was a taboo at the time. In 1934, 1935, this was a prohibited thing, really. I know so because porn directors were talking to me. Let me explain to you. It's like extra points if you get the girl do oral sex. Now, how the hell would a child make adult lady perform oral sex? I personally don't like oral sex performed on me. I didn't practice much of that stuff. I don't know. It all depends, whatever. But I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't have a problem doing it. I like it to do the stuff on the ladies, but I don't like that stuff really done on myself. I don't know. And so, you know, the ladies that would perform sexual activities first, let's define lady, female. Lady is something between a male and between the child. It's a link in between. And their personality is completely different, for sure different from male personalities. And so this is how I figure out, at least this. And so it was, they felt like a weirdo, being around the weirdos when it comes to those old porn actors, directors. They didn't feel quite completely comfortable, okay? Very few. Based on my memory, very few felt quite comfortable with them. And so that's how they delivered me on, literally, on a stage next to them. Just a child would wander around there, and what they would do is they would always try to put the guards down from the ladies by simply talking to them and so on. And then all of a sudden, you know, I popped up out of nowhere, escorted by, you know, guys, whatever. And when ladies see child, it's psychological barrier. They cross that psychological barrier somehow. They open themselves. Ladies are very social creatures that if they encounter the issues, the broader issues, not only some dudes over there, shady dudes or something like that, but if they encounter environment that is more like accepting, social, they do tend to open themselves more than otherwise would. And this is how I literally started to even incite ladies into something that I did not even know what it was when I was age 4 for sure, 5. I just started to do it, whatever, do it. Because the guys were so nice with me, nice in a parenthesis. Do you think about Donald Trump? who the fuck this guy is? He liked to talk. He loves to use the word nice, nice, nice. He used this word all the time during MK Ultra. Nice, 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 nice. This is a U.S. president, became a U.S. president after it's also what Federal Bureau investigation broke down will be the case. Had ear where explosive was attached to one in the rear of the head, blown during the so-called assassination attempt. He was not shot at like he claimed me during MK Ultra in 2018. He claimed that there was assassination attempt on him and stuff like that. He started to instigate it. FBI alone broke me down the details of what's going to become a future assassination. It was a piece of explosive with the same color, skin color that they attached to his ear, and they detonated it. And it was a major cash for Donald Trump. And so this is basically how I got into the world of pornography, but really Federal Bureau investigations designed this type of Titoistic. Titoist is one thing, Stalinist is something completely almost identical in a different sense. Approach toward me. Titoist is from times of Josip Broz Tito. Josip Broz Tito was a big fan of pornography. He was a tremendous fan of prostitution, I should say. No, this is like an elite prostitution, like a high-class prostitution that involves the so-called actors and actresses, like Hollywood people, who oftentimes get themselves in all kinds of situations, and that's why you have all kinds of sizes and shapes, and it's such a broad thing, isn't it? When it comes to Federal Bureau investigation, they have a whole catalog, they have a whole pornography is a big part of Federal Bureau investigation operation, actually Central Intelligence operation too. This is really comes handy and plays a big role during the Soviet Union. They exchange these experiences. It's what brings the people together. Oh, damn it, he's a God-fearing man. Christopher Wray is announcing his resignation. Yeah, I met his wife, God-fearing wife. His entire family, and I'm making him really, really a disgrace, I suppose.
I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception,
Are you sure this guy was a serial killer and not an FBI agent?
Involved in pornography without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study on serial homicide shows that the most common interest among serial killers is pornography.
Maybe he was both. What do you think about that?
That's true. And
who knows the most about the serial killers, serial killing? I'm gonna leave this question open.
it's real. It's true.
It is. Federal Bureau investigation in compliance with the Soviets, with the Josip Broz Tito, with the Yugoslavia, Milan Kuča in Slovenia, proceeded with the pornographic scenes. Now, as I started to grow up, I started to really, all that feminine beauty that I prohibited stuff, highly prohibited, otherwise in a society, it just started to make me horny, really, really horny. It started to build hormones in me. It started to explode, And it is true. When during MK Ultra, when I was child, when they literally with this kind of stuff aroused me, I really was gonna get myself into the fight, because they did this shit to me so many fucking times and nothing ever came out of it. They were a Federal Bureau of Investigation was using that method to drive me insane. Yeah, I must say that methods remained part of MK Ultra all the way up to 2020. I met maybe, who the fuck knows, it feels like thousands of porn actresses, prostitutes, entire world. It was in the United States of America only. I met ladies throughout the India. I met the ladies throughout the China, even Vietnam, Japan. Don't have to talk about Britain, bordels, prostitution, Soviet Union, Russia, Yugoslavia, of course, but you know, Italy big time, France big time, Spain big time, United States of America tremendous time. I don't recall much about prostitution, really, not much of it. I don't recall much of it in countries such as even Sweden was involved in it, but Norway, I don't remember Norway being connected to the prostitution. Switzerland, Germany, Hungary, all of the above, pretty much. Africa, South Africa, and Africa in general, South America also, big time South America, from Chile to Ecuador to through, I should say, Venezuela, Colombia, Central America. Yeah, when they started to, I'm gonna use the F word, fuck with me like this, I had enough of it as a child. And I almost got myself into like a little brawl 2-3 times. And it always was handled by the Serbs, by the Serbian police entourage, police officers. And I started to understand that this is the way to drive me insane. I computerized everything that went on during MK Ultra, and I categorized this type of activity as a dangerous activity. And so what I did was I got myself seriously into brawl because of this shit. I did snap when I was a child, and then I figured out that this is the way to drive a person insane. And my case was all about psychiatry, as they were trying to get rid of me at whatever costs. This became one of the activities they would involve me, next to physical fights and all kinds of encounters, terror, beatings, and so on. This became one of the activities that I have to say it appealed so much to police officers who entourage, who escorted me. Psychiatry Skopsh, oh, he was big fan of this stuff, because they would get to fuck sometimes. Robert Golob, Milan Kuchan, they became addicted to it. See, I didn't get addicted to it. I didn't get addicted to it even through I watched the porn throughout my entire life. I didn't get addicted to it. That's interesting. They got addicted to it. Federal Bureau investigation picked up a signal together with the CIA, and what was meant to be used as a tool to drive me insane became one of the main tools of Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau investigation. Oh, I'm gonna so miss this guy here from Federal Bureau investigation. Oh no. Now he can go to church. He's gonna have time with his blondine to go to the church, and everything is gonna be just fine. And so, you know, I don't share that opinion with Bundy, with Charles Manson, and I don't even know who the other guy the hell is. I don't share it. I started to use instead pornography as efficient tool, the same way as the surgeons use their knives to perform surgeries on the patients. I started to utilize pornography to my advantage, and never more efficient than when in United States of America, when they started to fuck with me in respect to dating. You don't want to go on dates if you're married. If you get married as a foreigner to the U.S. citizen, it's not a wise thing to go out and date other ladies, because you're gonna have the immigration office in your ass, and what's gonna happen is they're gonna kick you out of the country. I quickly figure out that, and the next thing is that there are still chances, and the thing is that the Federal Bureau investigation, CIA, they just used certain issues with the females at work, where you would meet them in the US, to drive me nuts, basically. They just go and they would flirt with you and stuff like this, and then nothing would happen, and so on. And every nothing would happen could be very dangerous, really. So I'm not the kind of person that would take shit from anybody, not for too long. I found a solution to it. But this, the harshest one really is when it comes to the human relations. Not having the ability really to share whatever you want to share with, you know, with people. And I was always a very sexual person. And so this is really a problem. And so I resorted myself to a personality. I came to conclusion it's going to be a personality like American personality. I just say like a Charlie Sheen with, you know, black glasses, and 1.5 Man with, you know, pretending he's serious about everything, and doing his stuff, basically disregarding the society completely and doing his own stuff till he gets the things done, and then he moves forward. And it worked out very well for me, that stuff. Since I started to do that type of stuff, the Federal Bureau investigation, CIA did everything possible to do all kinds of issues to remind me. During MK Ultra, they intimidated with the pornography, exactly with this, with all kinds of mentally ill and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of issues involving it. In real world, they started to intimidate with it by using people, talking directly negatively about porn and this and that and so on. Well, stuff like this went on, right? And so I shared their opinion, you know, I shared their hypocrisy. I have a problem with it. All about the normal family, God-fearing and everything, you know. And it worked out for me really well. Don't know if porn could possibly have any kind of link to violence other than the one I described. If they drive you insane and you what's very dangerous, where the mental illness derives from, is from male restraining himself from the sexual activities. It's not really healthy for your body. You see, God gave you penis for you to use one, not to wear one for decoration. That's one thing. The impotence is one of the very serious problems that male world encounters. And so then there's all kinds of mental illnesses that comes from within. Some people wielding Bible in their hands with a gun and stuff like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff. What can I say? I'm just not that type of person. As much as the FBI and Federal Bureau of Investigation, are doing best of their abilities, to damage, to hurt. You were able to see just a few weeks ago, now maybe 1 month ago, when I sent the complaint to what is U.S. Justice Department of State, the answer came within few days, basically with the middle finger in my face. I mean, provided already for me during MK Ultra on God knows how many occasions. You can't take stuff like this serious if you are to live, if you are to survive. I had no fucking idea I was for such a long ride, hell ride. But sometimes things just happen this way, that you're age 53 and you're still jerking off. That I would not want to go out and date anybody till this stuff is finished, to be honest. Because I would not want to be thrown in a bed with somebody who's going to perform MK Ultra on me. Be thrown in a situation I'm going to have to jeopardize. Eventually when I'm going to have to allow controllers to take control through me due to the sex drive, by simply using people, manipulators that will point you out solutions that are viable, that are the most convenient, let's say for British Royals, Washington DC, Berlin, Beijing, Tokyo, whatever, whoever the fuck, whatever. Anything for as long as police, for whatever it takes, just so police would not perform what is required from police to perform. Basically, investigate fully the case. See, that's what I have a problem with that stuff. And on top of that, I want to save the relations that I had with this wonderful porn actresses, I should say, and people involved in prostitution, and people, females that otherwise maybe relationship would be extremely valuable and productive, and it's just going to have a short outcome as a result of some kind of attempt that's going to take more time away from me, and it's going to result in dead-end street by even whatever you want to call them, influencers or rich or wealthy, royalties, elites, simply buying time for themselves. That's what they were doing all along. Porn was at large used to steal time. And that's how people get driven insane. That's how they screw people. That's how they get people commit violent acts and stuff like this. But other than that, if you want to survive in the world I was in, then you have to use best your abilities, absolutely everything, every aspect of life. Strive toward having no sexual desires, therefore you have to fulfill yourself. That's like the basic thing when it comes to human beings. So I would say thumbs up to the porn. I would say just like everything else, use it based on your needs, based on your advantages, and don't allow them to intimidate you. Don't allow them to don't allow them to take advantage of you, of the stuff. Basically, not take advantage of you, but don't allow them to take advantage of circumstances they create. You know what I mean? Because this is what's all about. I mean, stay social, see yourself as a human being. At least something about the human beings still must appeal to you. If it's going to be absolutely everything you're going to become disgusted with, you're going to become really dangerous to society. So, keep touch with the human beings in at least some form. Keep up with it. This is the way it is. If the whole world is totally rotten and whatever, we're still human beings, aren't we? There are less human beings when it comes to the human beings. There are less human beings in North Korea, and I'm not talking about North Koreans here. I am talking about the psychiatry, punitive psychiatry, the police state by the Kim Jong-un that will, I understand, chop your balls or do something else to you if he finds you in a possession of pornography. It's quite interesting, this FBI link, this God-fearing attitude is quite interesting when it comes to the countries where porn is prohibited. How about Iran, let's say? Is it Iran? What do they say about the Iran? Did they chop your balls for sure or not? Let me see that. Do you know why the FBI did not like me to watch the porn stuff? Because they have this God-fearing guys. God would not even use you to wipe his ass. You can trust me. He wouldn't. You're not even worthy of his spit. The FBI guys and the police officers that are God-fearing people, that are, the law people, well, the people that have many contemplate on becoming the same like this Central Intelligence Agency guy, William J. Burns. This one dreamed about becoming a super billionaire. This guy here, William J. Burns. This was to become a superstar. This was to become a new Donald Trump. This guy here. The thing is that the biggest problem the God-fearing people had from law enforcement is the unlawful activities they engaged in. They engaged and they continue to engage. I mean, the internet, and it's too bad I now video record that stuff. 5 times they cut me the internet. 5 times within, I don't know, maybe I lasted 2 hours or whatever. Must have been disturbing for them. Is it that my porn is making them mentally ill? Or is it that they are doing something they're not supposed to? Surveillance of the private citizen is a legal activity, don't you know this? And so if the stuff that I watch, if the stuff that I do is making you mentally ill, yeah, that probably really the best thing to do is just to give the resignation. That's something I'm going to inquire about from my internet service provider, who claim me, together with Boris Pahor, Robert Golop, and others, they will be sharing, together with British Royals, they will be sharing the ISP, internet service provider, addresses of the websites, whatever I will visit with the rest of the world, basically transmit the information, my activities, through the internet to other people throughout the world. So now I understand the resignation from the FBI director. He's not I have to be mentally ill anymore. I guess this was not the lifestyle for him. And that brings us to the other aspects of his work. What was he doing in there anyways? I mean, what exactly was what's the point of having you, paying you on a payroll? I mean, no, you're not supposed to do this kind of stuff. You're supposed to stop this kind of stuff. You're supposed to do your work, which requires you not to traffic people, hijack people, abduct people. The stuff that you were doing, traumatize people, humiliate, degrades, etc., people. This is not what the fuck you do as head of the FBI. Play with MK Ultra, etc. This is not what you do. But you're normal, right? You are not mentally ill. You go into the category of Iran, North Korea, and beyond that. But you're normal, and you are a head of FBI, and you are a head of Central Intelligence Agency, and you are normal because everything is normal, and this case went on for 53 years. To you, everything was normal. Everything was normal. All the stuff I was taking quietly for the sake of the USA, Britain, and others, everything was normal. It was all normal to you. The only thing that is not normal to you is when person no longer has a capacity to tolerate this type of stuff and turns against the system. This is when the problems surface, I guess. But other than that, everything was normal to you. So unless you're worried that you're going to hurt the people that are watching you on the other side of the internet, and if you don't experience any kind of urges to cause some kind of sexual crime or something like that, right on, release yourself and go on with it. If you do, you have to search help with the psychiatrist, visit your psychologist, psychiatrist, and explain them your problems. I never had any like this, so I gave a thumbs up to the porn. I think I learned a lot from the porn. I think that if you learn from everything, you can learn also from the porn. It's a matter of an individual. It doesn't matter. It's a matter of individual. Maybe porn can spice up your sex life if you're married. Maybe not. It depends on your partner. It depends how you set your marriage prior to the marriage. Or maybe you just don't need porn. Maybe you just are in relationship with a partner that is fulfilling your which is the most beautiful thing, I think. I think that's the most beautiful thing, but really everybody's not that fortunate, and so people do all kinds of things, you know. So I would not go and condemn anybody for doing whatever they're doing. porn actors are porn actors, the same like YouTubers, the same like Hollywood actors. They do the stuff to pay bills. They are more exposed to harsh elements, I would say, than actors that are, you know, high-paid movie actors, whatever, Hollywood. They call them stars, whatever, but, you know, essentially there is no difference. Whatever the hell you do, keep safe, STD free, and do it for whatever you need. Anything in excess is just dangerous. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching this video. Can you imagine? FBI got me in this stuff at age probably already 3, and Josip Broz Tito was one of the people that was using this stuff big time, maybe even earlier than age 3. You know that? Maybe even earlier than age 3. Josip Broz Tito was using in the Belgrade. He had ladies visiting also from abroad, and also is the reason why he came also to the USA and so on and so forth. One hell of a guy. Oh, I am gonna so fucking miss you. He promised me I will never finish the case. He worked all along this case. I think I was clear about this, guys. The only thing left I have to do is basically play you this one more time.
I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception. Deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study on serial homicide shows that the most common interest among serial killers is pornography.
Me being a serial killer, and here is a piece of advice for Pope Francis and for all the Christian society. What is this Christian anyway? 'Cause I'm now 53 and I don't know what a Christian is. Let me explain to you something. In the eyes of God, who is closer to evil? The one that sells the prostitution, the one that is using a prostitution, and I never was using prostitution in my lifetime. This is very important, I think, to register. Not a single time did I use prostitution in my lifetime. If I did go with a girl, I did go with a girl that I liked. I never compensated any girl though for anything in my life, for any kind of sexual activities. Who is a bigger evil in eye of God? Prostitute that needs to pay the bills, prostitute that is using a prostitution as a work, a married man that goes around and engaging in sexual activities, regular guy that is watching porn. I would not absolutely touch royals, elites involved in prostitution. I would not go into Epstein. I would not go into Donald Trump issues, ring. Not going to go into any of that stuff. Or is it a God-fearing guy that goes to the church and say he's a Christian, and he goes the same to the Muslim? I'm not an atheist. I do believe in God. Don't Don't even think about that. I do believe in God. But there is a lot I don't believe when it pertains to society. That's why I said, what is this Christian? I'd like somebody to explain to me what is this Christian. If you're saying that you believe in God, that you're a Christian, you're not swearing on God. You are swearing on a Bible. Inside of that Bible, which was written by the human hand, there's all kinds of laws and paragraphs and all kinds of stuff in there that prohibits you, and it purifies your soul as you read that stuff. But in reality, when you're faced with certain issues in life, when you're faced with certain issues in life, how that reality applies to you in the eye of God. I mean, your God, if you're a Christian, and this must be terrible in His eyes. I mean, that you go and you swindle Him, and you do your little dirty stuff. I'm not going to even say it doesn't have to be behind your wife, but I think it hurts Him more than it hurts God of somebody who is simply honest with God about his stuff. And obviously God knows what to expect from His follower, believer, cherisher, praiser. I am just asking questions. I don't know. I'm asking questions. I was thinking about that stuff. Who is closer to God? I absolutely do not believe in a communism. I'm not a communist. But it's also a lot of bullshit I don't believe in. I believe in surviving, and I believe in reality. That's all. Thanks for watching this video. Till the next time. Maybe it's a goodbye video to my FBI Christopher Wray. Oh, yeah. Hell of a good job. Really, really good job. He was involved in this stuff since my childhood. And he did a hell of a good job. Really a friend and ally and supporter and mentor to cherish, to praise. Hallelujah.
That's true. And it's real. It's true.
The person to blame is sitting right across from you.
Is
That's
it
the
true?
only person. Not parents, not society, not pornography. I mean, those are just excuses.
What do you think about what he said about pornography?
Pornography? I've been looking at it all my life and it hasn't affected me anything.
There you go. I am not going to cast my opinion with those guys. This is my personal opinion, is the one that I gave. Thanks for watching this video. Till next time.